sure you want the rest of it?
Dirty Harry Minute. Dirty Harry Minute. Dirty Harry Minute Podcast. Dirty Harry Minute Podcast.
Every penny's worth.
Welcome back to Dirty Harry Minute, the only podcast in the world to review every minute of the 1971 Warner Brothers masterpiece, Dirty Harry. I'm one of your hosts, John, and I'm joined as ever with...
Trent?
And Tim gives his apologies, Trent?
Yes, he might be here. He may make an appearance partway through this episode. I don't know, but yeah, so I've been advised.
I hope he does. And today we are joined with guest reviewer, a man patiently waiting for the live-action Sonic the Hedgehog movie, Trav Nash.
Hey, yes I am. Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik or Eggman.
Oh.
It's going to be pretty sweet.
Hope he has that good moustache ready. You a big fan of Sonic the Hedgehog?
I remember I played it a couple of times. I like the other one with Tails, who was the fox.
Oh.
I had a cat that looked like Tails, and should have named it as such.
Can he like propel with the split tail thing and just fly around the room?
I'm trying to think of other people completely off track for a second. Other people who could play Dr. Robotnik.
Definitely Hitchcock we could bring in back.
Yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman would have been good if he was around. He would have been a
He
good
would have been perfect.
Eggman.
Peter Helly is available.
Yeah, he's around.
Santa Claus.
Wonderful.
Well, today we are reviewing minute 33, Trav. The minute begins with Harry listening to the police car radio and ends with Harry handing a novelty walkie-talkie back to a uniformed police officer. What were your impressions of this minute, Trav?
I don't know why he's not driving. He seems like the alpha male here, and I think Clint should be in the driving seat.
Is it just me, or the opening of this scene when he's in the car? Is it the first moment in this film where Harry doesn't look like he's got a stick up his ass? His shirt's unbuttoned at the top button. The tie's a little bit loose. He looks a little bit more casual. And
I think he looks like someone who got a bit scared, like he's not really good as a passenger. So
Yeah.
it looks like he's like loosened the tie. He's like, ugh.
He can't handle not being in control.
Yeah.
maybe. As a heterosexual male, I'd actually say this is the best Clint looks in this entire film. It's you either want to be with him or you want to be him.
He looks like he just fits in that car as well, because his hair's pretty high in this.
Yeah.
They need to raise the roof a bit. To quote from a rap poet.
And Trent, we've also got that great obligatory U-turn screech sound, which we're gonna see a trace, but no, we don't.
No. But I love that spin. In the backdrop, it looks amazing. This is kind of an intense scene because it's, it primarily focuses on the death of a child. So it's probably, I don't know about you guys, but maybe it's better we focus on the comical elements in this scene.
It is pretty dark.
Yeah.
Tim, welcome back.
Hi, sorry to drop in unannounced. But,
You're here for the dead child bit.
Yeah, I woke up. That woke me up.
Well, I like the bit that the movie, we find the child, it's in an empty, almost a quarry, like at the end of the film. And the dispatcher has said we're on the corner of Sierra and Texas, so subliminally there's a bit of a Western reference there.
It's a pretty crappy place to hide a body. Like, I'm not saying that I've killed a child or hit it, but it doesn't seem much effort went into it.
Now, I love the actress here who plays the mum, Trent. Mae Mercer's her name.
She's got a lot of rhythm in her delivery.
Well, that's very apt because apparently in the 60s she moved to Paris and was a blues chanteuse.
Oh, really?
Singer,
There you
yeah.
go.
Before this film.
Before this film. A decade before this. Before this film, she was actually in The Beguiled, as discussed before. She played
right.
the nurse to Dirty Harry, so...
So she was in the Mel Paso ensemble, clearly.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, she was also in a movie quoted before, Hell is for Heroes, with Harry Gardino.
Oh, yeah.
Or the other one with the similar title, The Hell with Heroes.
The Hell with Heroes, yeah. What else did she do? I mean, she's still alive? Is she still working? Or
That I leave to you, Trent, the IMDb searcher.
Clint Eastwood looks like a 70s comedian that would perform for like mob bosses. Like he's got that classic tweed shirt, which I would like to see Clint Eastwood do. Just like it'd be like that Simpsons with McBain doing stand up. That's the joke. Let's get silly.
And the checkered, is that what the pattern is on his suit?
I thought that was herringbone, or is it just tweed?
I reckon it's both. It's best of both worlds. It's an amazing outfit. Is it what cops looked like back then, or was there a choice? Oh, he's a detective, though, isn't he?
Inspector. Which apparently is just a designation only in San Francisco and a few other... Glenn, our previous guest, was saying inspector's more of an English rank. I don't know.
Yeah, this scene's fantastic where he's totally into seeing that dead kid. He's just staring into it. Like that's the only reason he came there. Like he doesn't do any investigation. He doesn't pull out any like forensics. He's just like, oh yeah.
I guess Chico's reaction is the two extremes. It's like he's already experienced dirty stuff like this before.
But I think Clint also wanted to add it to show that he is the alpha. Like he just really has to rub that home. It's like, dead kids don't faze me. I'm totally down with it.
Wasn't that a Steve Martin film? Sorry, that was Dead Men Don't Wear Plain.
It should have been a Steve Martin film. There's still time. Dead banjos don't faze me.
And finally, the last few minutes, you know, the suicide jumper was threatening to vomit, and finally here we have Chico coming forth and actually delivering on the promise off screen, mercifully. You like this minute, Tim?
Yeah. Well, I think like Trent was saying, when I first watched it, the psychoticness of Scorpio sort of becomes really evident from this murder.
Oh, sorry, what was the actress's name again?
I think Mae Mercer.
What's the character name?
Mother? Distraught mother?
Oh, here we go. Mrs. Russell.
Ah, yes, because he's Charlie Russell.
And she passed away in 2008 at the age of 76. So that would have made her about 40 in this, or 39 anyway.
Do you like Clint's acting in this, Trav?
He's pretty much got that mute face.
Yeah.
He's pretty stoic.
They call it the Squintin' Clinton.
Yes. He's, I don't know, it's hard to read his emotions if he has any. Like, that face is pretty much the reaction to, like, if they needed stock Clint footage, they could probably recut this movie with just someone saying anything. Like, hey, you want to go to the circus? And then cut to that shot.
It's sort of his standard look in all his films, isn't it? It's either the serious scowl or the sort of mischievous
I would like to
smirk.
see a surprised Clint. Like, I would like to see him pull the shroud off the kid and then be like, ugh. Like, I think that would have really just jumbled things up a bit.
You like Rain Man? Definitely a body, definitely kid dead.
So, Mae Mercer, some of her last credits are quite interesting. She was in an episode of The Shield.
Oh, really?
2004.
With the commish.
Yeah, with the commish. And in 2003, she was in, I didn't even know this existed, she was in one episode of the series Dragnet, which was a remake of the series that ran from the 50s to I think the early 70s. But this version, this may be a surprise to no one else but me, had Ed O'Neill in it as Joe Friday, the lieutenant. Ed O'Neill from Married with Children, as in Al Bundy, played like serious cop role.
Serious.
He'd always be Wayne's World guy to me, the Vietnam dude.
Oh, yeah, in the diner.
Yeah.
Wow, anyway. Ethan Embry, he was in it. Eva Longoria, she was in it.
Do you remember that ABC show that did a parody of Dragnet, and they were mathematicians or something solving math crimes? Do you remember that?
Infinity Unlimited?
Could have been that. It was a small part of like a... Maybe it was You Can't Do That on Television or something.
Square One TV.
Yeah. Dragnet.
Also by the Children's Television Workshop.
It was kind of like X-Files as well. It was kind of like by the numbers.
That was the one that had Mathman on it.
Yeah, Mathman as well. I remember wishing that was a real computer game. I was like, the graphics are sick. It's like 3D Pac-Man. I would put up with something going, Mathman. But the graphics like that, it was sick.
Until your parents threw a shoe through the wall at this, shattering the screen.
It'd be more easy for me to ask for like an educational game.
Yeah. that was my thought as well. I thought if I could get that one, they'd actually let me have a console because you'd be learning something.
What's it called? Mathman.
Mathman.
I wonder if it's on YouTube.
Yeah, probably.
Look this up.
Yeah, it's probably the most viewed thing on YouTube because everyone's just loving it. It's up there with Jake Paul playing Mathman.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Well, Trent, I think getting back to Dirty Harry.
Oh, yeah, sorry. That's why we're here, aren't we?
I thought this was a Mathman.
Yeah. I'm out of here, man.
I think Clint acts really well on this.
I think so too. I think he's really good.
And he's had 3 movies this year, hasn't he? He's had The Beguiled, Play Misty for Me, and this one. So he's had a chance to flex his acting muscles, and I think he gives a very good... People give Eastwood a lot of crap for not being an actor because he just reacts, but the way he looks at the mother, I think it's really quite good.
I'm still really impressed with the pointing guy coming up. Like, the guy in the building, he's like, duh! Like...
Speaking of being impressed, I'm watching a video of Mathman. It's like Pac-Man on steroids.
But the game slows down a bit when he has to do some basic addition. Like, it kind of slows the pacing down.
You gotta hear the sound though.
Yeah, it goes Mathman. So good.
Clint's acting in this is great. And what you were just saying, Clint cops it for not acting but reacting.
Yeah.
But a lot of people in the real... That's what people do.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people like that who are just, not particularly communicative with their face.
I think you would have to be to get into that position. Like, if you're someone who'd just be like, why is that kid dead? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you would last very long. If you're like Gilbert Godfrey, like, what is going on? Who would do this? And they're like, you're supposed to find that out, Gilbert. This is insane. Like,
And, imagine Roger Moore was doing this. I mean, it would just be one eyebrow up.
this isn't my cup of tea. Like,
Harry doesn't give them Chico long to console the mother, does he?
No.
No. It's like a movie time, like in Greece, they get all that... Or in movies, they get like all the food delivered to them, and it's like, all right, let's go, and they haven't eaten any of the food. Yeah, there you go.
which is weird because this movie really, like, the pacing's a little bit random. Like, sometimes it just glazes over scenes and others it, like, lingers on things or, like, a bit way too long.
Yeah. Do you know Texas and
Sierra.
Do you know if that's a real location? Is that
Yes,
a real
they are real
intersection?
streets in there.
Did you go there?
No, I didn't.
Google Map it.
This is, once again, remember Potrero Hill?
Yes.
Yeah. Where apparently Harry grew up with Steve the Black Doctor earlier on.
John, I'm surprised you didn't try and get on the roof of this building where the cops standing.
Did you do the point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon there's a lot of people doing it. They're like, yeah! And then,
Now, this is 1971. Do you reckon that apartment block, Trent's just full of swingers and
they look like...
dodgy...
It looks like a Fallout bunker. Like, it looks like it could last.
Truly does.
It's in the middle of nowhere. It's next to what looks like a freeway in the background.
This giant solar.
Oh, that's a
Gasometer.
Gasometer, yeah. Which you never see anymore.
Yeah, you said this used to be one of Abbotsford. Do you know where it's still
I
there?
don't know
It's
where it was. Yeah, it's in an episode of Bluey.
Yeah.
You see him driving.
Is that a disco ball that's gone black?
Yeah, what's below him?
It looks a bit dusty. Maybe it's part of him. It kind of looks like his legs are gone through the concrete.
I think it's that little robot at the beginning of Jabba's palace that comes out of the door.
Jibba jabba. He's like, oh, excuse me.
To me, it looks more like the pendant in Rosemary's Baby that they put the tennis route in. Remember that? Yeah. But yeah, do you like this cop, Trav?
I love this. This is the standout acting.
When we hear him talk, he sounds a bit like Camp or something. Like
I think they dubbed in his voice because his lips are not moving long enough to say that long line.
no.
So I reckon he said, like, thanks for putting me in the movie. Unfortunately, I never got to meet Clint Eastwood because he wasn't there that day.
Sorry, just a thought that the guy on the roof, maybe he's a stuntman that they got for the helicopter shit sequence earlier in the film.
Yeah, maybe.
They just have to use the same guy on rooftops.
What's there now, John? I mean, that looks like a quarry or something, or just sort of an industrial area that's been...
Yeah, this wasn't one of the locations I checked out. I had to prioritise what my wife would let me waste time.
You should Google Maps it. Surely that'll That's what it's there for, to find famous.
It's good to see cops using old-fashioned notebooks. Do they just use their Kindle these days, do you reckon, Tim? The cops on the beat?
Well, probably not a Kindle. Kindles are just for books.
Oh, you know what I mean, sorry.
But yeah, probably some sort of iPad, if the budget allows it. What was it called? Macintosh and Sons.
Yeah, General Contractors in Potrero Hill. They've misscribed on the subtitles here Trent Lanicky, but in the credits, the old guy's called Sergeant Reinecke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's a
What
bit of
happens
trivia
when they
for
do
you
that?
there.
Is there a complaint line for like subtitle? Is there some sort of...
That's what we've got you here for, Trav.
Alright, I'll get onto it. I love that dude that walks past as well.
Yeah.
I wonder if he got paid or if he was just someone who walked in on the shot. Because it's a bit of an establishing shot.
Yeah. I think he's waiting. He's like, I've got 8 years and I've got to be on the Warriors, man.
He does. It would have been really good if the killer walked past. I reckon that would have been a good... Just because you know how they always say the killer comes back to... It's like, trying to get me, coppers? No.
Are you familiar with the website Norton's Movie Maps?
Yeah, I'm just looking at it right now.
You're on that too?
Yeah.
The grey building in the foreground is the former William McIntosh and Sons building. Gee, the photo I can see, that area looks very built up on now.
Well, it's built on dead bodies.
It really wouldn't surprise
It's probably
me.
changed to Clint Eastwood Road now.
Still exists today, although its size has been greatly reduced by a nearby housing and retail development.
Is the concrete thing still there? Because that'd be pretty tough to take. They look like you'd have to use a nuclear bomb to like get rid of.
It's kind of fenced off, the vacant lot part now. Like it looks, in 71 or whatever. Yeah, very strange. But I mean, it looks really overgrown.
I think those houses on the hill are still up there, or the building.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Looks like it. 2015 anyway.
There you go, John. It's a place to go. Look, sneak away from your wife on your next trip.
Do you like the old-fashioned double-breasted sort of police, the proper get-out, the suits? I wonder how much long they existed in reality for.
Probably as fashion dictated. I'd say until the 90s. Late 80s, perhaps.
It's no Keystone Cops, but it's pretty good.
Didn't they wear that in Police Academy?
I think after Police Academy they had to change it.
In The Departed and stuff, like that's a proper official dress, isn't it? They're bad.
Oh, in the ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever I see that when Reinecke's got his suit, it sort of reminds me of that old Sega Master System, that Dick Tracy game where you'd have the whatever that guy is.
Got that somewhere.
Do you like Chico, Trav?
Yeah, I think he's it's almost like they wrote him out. Like he gets out of this shit movie pretty, and then he's just like, nah, I don't want to be a cop. And then he doesn't even like, no, you should keep going. Yeah, you're right. He's like, this franchise is all about me. Let's face it, because he doesn't come back for the other ones, does he?
No.
This isn't for you.
He's pretty much the Pete Best. It's like the Beatles. A week later, the Beatles become the biggest band ever.
2 or 3 lines, the old guy. He's in the credits and Popwell isn't. Isn't that a disgrace?
That is a disgrace.
Is that an ice cream truck? It's like on the weekends, that's a Mr. Whippy, surely.
It'd be, by the mornings, it's delivering armor guard.
He almost took out Chico as well. Like, look how close it comes. He's just walking. He's not looking where he's going. And then, ooh.
Oh, and that's on dirt, gravel as well.
And that's all next minute officially.
Oh, well, thanks for telling us, John.
Well, are you like this minute, Tim?
Yes, I do.
You do.
I do. Yeah.
Do you think Mae Mercer should have had a bigger career?
As
As a grieved mum too in Die Hard 3 or something?
probably could have brought her back for the sequels.
Shame.
I like to see an actor just doing the same thing. Like, she's just in every movie with some kid's dead. And she just comes out and she's like, he only had 1 day to retirement. And you're like, wasn't he a kid? And she's like, I'm gone now. And then,
She should have been Robert Duvall's wife in Falling Down. They had the job.
Oh, yeah.
Is in Falling Down. Should have been Danny Glover's wife in The First Lethal Weapon when he's about to retire. Fortunately or unfortunately for all of us, he didn't in those films, hence they made 3 more sequels.
he should have been in, what's the last prequel Star Wars with the Anakin's on the, I got the higher ground.
Yeah.
The Anakin's mum sitting there and she's like, Anakin, no! You gotta fall in the lava! Oh, there you go.
She should have been Shmi Skywalker. I think that's the character's name.
Shmi.
Yeah, that's the mum's name.
Oh my god. Lucas really does not try sometimes.
Yeah.
Wasn't Skywalker's last name was like Star
Starkiller,
Walker?
yeah.
Starkiller? What are you on about, dude?
Well, that's about everything I've got for this minute, Tim. Anything else?
No.
Trav, will you join us for the next minute?
Sure.
We'll catch you next time on Dirty Harry Minute.
Minute.